Round of 16 knockout match between Switzerland and Colombia at the iconic BC Place Stadium in Vancouver turned out to be an absolute tactical masterpiece, delivering a relentless, nerve-wracking, and deeply dramatic battle that pushed both teams to the very edge of physical exhaustion. Walking out onto the pitch in front of a heavily partisan, booming crowd dressed primarily in vibrant yellow shirts, Colombia aimed to capture their historic ticket to the quarterfinals to secure a dream fixture against Lionel Messi's Argentina. The stakes could not have been any higher on Canadian soil, as both undefeated rosters put their tactical structures and tournament lives completely on the line over a grueling, dramatic 120-minute journey. From the very opening whistle, the frantic tempo of the game established that neither side was willing to surrender an inch of turf without a ferocious struggle. Colombia comfortably controlled the early stages of the encounter, utilizing their technical superiority and slick passing lanes to dictate the initial tempo and immediately test the resolve of the Swiss defense. Operating under the visionary orchestration of veteran midfielder James Rodriguez and the explosive threat of Luis Diaz on the left flank, Los Cafeteros pushed Switzerland deep into their own territory. In the 21st minute, the relentless attacking pressure nearly paid off in spectacular fashion. James Rodriguez picked up a loose ball after a scrappy midfield battle, dropped his shoulder, and showed his world-class vision by threading a defense-splitting pass to Gustavo Puerta just outside the box. Puerta anticipated the pass beautifully, curling a blistering, first-time effort towards the far corner of the net. However, Swiss goalkeeper Gregor Kobel proved equal to the challenge, extending his frame fully to pull off a magnificent, diving save and parry the ball away to keep the match scoreless. As the first half progressed, Switzerland gradually weathered the initial storm and found their tactical groove under the guidance of manager Murat Yakin. The Swiss midfield, anchored by captain Granit Xhaka, began to win crucial second balls and construct swift, vertical sequences of their own. In the 30th minute, it was Switzerland's turn to pose a monumental threat. Following a wonky defensive deflection, the ball broke through the Colombian backline and fell directly into the path of Fabian Rieder inside the box. Rieder charged forward with a relentless run and unleashed a powerful, low blast aimed at the bottom corner. Colombian goalkeeper Camilo Vargas reacted with lightning-fast reflexes, diving smartly to his left to parry the dangerous shot out of harm's way. Just minutes later, Vargas had to be alert again, rapidly rushing off his line to smother a clinical attempt from Dan Ndoye after a quick Swiss counterattack, ensuring a highly intense and competitive first 45 minutes ended in a tactical 0-0 stalemate. The second half told an even more dramatic and physical story, as the competitive tension on the pitch began to boil over into heavy aerial challenges and tactical fouls. Switzerland came out with renewed energy out of the locker room, making an early midfield substitution by bringing on Djibril Sow for Ardon Jashari. The tactical change almost reaped immediate rewards when Dan Ndoye zipped past his marker on the flank and delivered a low ground cross across the face of the box, but a slipping so skewed his first-time shot far wide of the target. Moments later, the referee was forced to clamp down on the increasingly feisty challenges, showing a yellow card to Granit Xhaka for a heavy challenge on Daniel Munoz, followed quickly by a booking for Denny Zakaria after he slid recklessly into Luis Diaz on the halfway line. Despite the interruptions, Colombia desperately tried to break the deadlock and regain their attacking momentum. In the 64th minute, a loose pass from Xhaka in the final third was aggressively picked up by Luis Suarez. The Sporting forward took a sharp touch and pulled the trigger from the edge of the box, but he wildly skewed his curling effort wide of the near post. The missed opportunity left captain James Rodriguez visibly frustrated as he gestured towards his feet, believing he was in a far superior position to convert the opening goal. That proved to be Rodriguez's final major involvement of the evening, as manager Nestor Lorenzo shook up his formation in the 66th minute, replacing his captain with Juan Fernando Quintero and introducing Jaminton Campas to inject explosive pace out wide. As the regular 90 minutes ticked away, both managers turned to their benches to preserve energy, with Colombia introducing Richard Rios and Cucho Hernandez, while Switzerland brought on Cedric Itten, Sylvain Widmer, and Ruben Vargas. In the final frantic minutes of normal time, the stadium held its collective breath during a series of desperate penalty shouts. First, Fabian Rieder went down under a heavy challenge from Davinson Sanchez inside the Colombian box, but the referee firmly waved play on. Seconds later, down at the other end, Luis Diaz swung an enticing cross to the back post for Campos, who fell to the turf under pressure from Dan Ndoye. But once again, the match officials were unmoved, forcing the exhausting encounter into a highly tense period of extra time. Extra time was packed with even more incredible drama, tactical adjustments, and raw emotion from the very start of the first extra period. In the 94th minute, Colombia survived an almighty scare when Miro Muheim delivered a highly dangerous free kick deep into the penalty area. Granit Xhaka did exceptionally well to win the initial header under his own crossbar, recycling the ball back into the mixer where Jaminton Campos went down heavily under a late challenge from Muheim. The Colombian players erupted in passionate appeals for a penalty kick, but following a tense and rapid check from the video assistant referee, the initial decision stood, much to the fury of the partisan crowd. Refusing to let the non-call dampen their spirits, the resilient Colombian roster launched an absolute onslaught in the 99th minute, producing the single closest opportunity of the entire match. The substitute Jaminton Campos drove aggressively down the left flank, holding off Sylvain Widmer before winning a crucial corner kick. Juan Fernando Quintero stepped up to the set piece and whipped an absolutely majestic, curling delivery deep into the heart of the 6-yard box. Jean Lucumi anticipated the flight of the ball flawlessly, rising above the towering Swiss defenders to connect with a powerful, authoritative header. The ball flew past a beaten Gregor Kobel, but to the utter heartbreak of the Colombian dugout, the thumping effort violently rocked the crossbar and bounced away from the goal line, keeping the scoreline locked at an unbelievable 0-0 as the teams reached the brief halftime interval of extra time. With a mere 15 minutes remaining to prevent the agonizing pressure of a penalty shootout, the physical toll of the match reached its peak, with players fighting for every single inch of grass at BC Place. Colombia's Richard Rios marshaled the midfield, skillfully evading two defenders before slipping a low pass to Luis Diaz, whose falling shot was brilliantly blocked at the last second by Nico Elvedi. Moments later, Switzerland launched a dangerous aerial ball into the 6-yard box, leading to a terrifying, high-speed collision as goalkeeper Camilo Vargas came charging off his line to punch the ball clear, completely wiping out a stationary Briel Mbolo with a knee to the back. Both medical teams rushed onto the field to treat the players, adding to the immense tactical drama of this epic World Cup knockout match as the clock ticked relentlessly down toward a definitive conclusion.